I'm reminded today that too many of us are, we fool ourselves into thinking that we're perfectionists. We're not really perfectionists. Perfectionists, of course they exist, but perfectionists just are really neurotic bags of mess who second guess absolutely everything that they do. Most of us aren't like that. We you know, it's like most things in life, right? It's a curve as to our level of perfectionism. So, just had a workout. It was all right, and the circumstances of the workout are less than optimal. I've got a ludicrous amount of work on the go. At the moment, I am in the lease negotiation stage, not the heads of terms negotiation, that's been done. The lease negotiation stage for no less than 8 different gyms across 5 different countries and across several different continents. I'm taking on too much work. I got the usual business as usual work problems. I just moved house, and because I've got a mycotoxin mold illness, we checked the house out for mold. We had to do kind of after doing the deal, kind of. It's found a bit of mold in the house, which is normal for LA and probably normal for any house when you pay a professional mold inspector to go look at the house. And because we found that, certainly the agent of the landlady is behaving in a wholly reprehensible manner. We moved house yesterday. We don't have gas for a week, so we've got no hot water. No proper food, bad night of sleep, blah blah blah. Now, I play the world's smallest violin for me. I'm not asking you to feel sorry for myself, because I don't feel sorry for myself. My point being, I'm never going to have the greatest workout today, and the old me, that I would classify as being immature in this respect, was certainly an all or nothing person. And the old me that many of you can relate to would have wanted to wait, not necessarily for the perfect storm for the workout, but would have been like, okay, I'm going to sack this off because it's going to be less than optimal. I'm not going to enjoy it because it's going to be less than optimal. I've got a million things on my mind, and that certainly always historically was my problem. If I had lots of things on my mind, I'd always struggle to work out. So I'm there at the gym, and rather than walking into the gym and what are you doing? Rather than walking to them and training, I spent an hour reviewing a brand new lease, a 60-page lease, and emailing this utter prick about the house that we've moved into. So my head is not in the game for the hardcore workouts that I try and espouse and recommend everybody does, because if you want to get the most out of a workout and you want to progress, you have to push yourself to a place that you've never been before. And I've been training for so long, I got to go pretty hard. So it would have been easy. Are you going? Are you signaling? No, you're not going to go. Okay, I would have let you go. Eating your sandwich. The old me would have sacked it off. Too much on my mind, can't do it. The mature, sensible, clever me, the more mature, more sensible, clever me, takes a far more pragmatic approach, and exercise isn't about building muscle. It can be about building muscle, but I don't think it should be for anybody, unless you're an aspiring competitive bodybuilder. It shouldn't be purely about building muscle. It should be about the movement. It should be about the cardiovascular impact. It should be about the meditative qualities of exercise. So I now have to go back, I have to pick up the kids, I have to go to my old house to collect some more stuff. I'm going to grab a quick shower there rather than get a cold shower. And then I've got to rush off, and I've got to deal with my new landlady, who is almost not going to see this, but my new landlady is, she seems to be a little bit emotional, let's say. So my stress level should be really high, and yet because I've trained, I've had that hour of the music cranking up, training fast, training very, very light, just doing lots and lots of pumping stuff. It's definitely not a day to go for a personal best. Because I've done my training, I feel better about myself. If I hadn't trained, I'd feel guilty. I would genuinely feel guilty. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Again, it could be good or bad depending on the context. I've had that hour of mental release. And because I've had that hour of mental release, I really don't feel in any way, shape or form overwhelmed. And I have my moments when I feel overwhelmed with all that I've taken on. And I feel ready and raring to go, and it helps put everything into context. If you've followed me for any length of time, you'll know one of the things I say, and I say it when I'm doing things like these videos, because I say it to myself, and that is, if it's not terminal or criminal, don't worry about it. Don't think that I was born with that ability or that thick skin. Absolutely not a chance in a million was I like that. I'm one of the least laid back people naturally in most ways that you would ever meet. But experience and mistakes and errors and time have taught me that if it's not criminal and if it's not terminal, why on earth are you worrying about it? Why on earth are you worrying about it? You do your best to address the problem. You don't stick your head in the sand. You know, don't be the person who gets the bills through the post and sticks them under the carpet because you can't deal with them. I'm not suggesting that you do that. That's a really, really poor idea. You never hide. I think you should address your problems head on. Perhaps I address my problems too head on. By working out, I have just lifted the burden off myself, and I feel reinvigorated, refreshed, and ready to kind of return to the day-to-day problems of life. I see exercise as meditation. I don't have the time or the inclination to meditate. Maybe when I'm older I will. I've had 1,000 false starts at meditation, very much like many of you, I'm sure. Very much like many of you, I've bought the Headspace app. I've bought it, signed up for it, used it a little bit, then bought it, and I've never used the damn thing. I know that the numbers for Headspace are very, very, very weak in terms of people who follow through, because we all want to do this meditation and we just can't be bothered. Exercise ticks multiple of those boxes for me and for many other people. So again, long-winded video just to tell you, you're gonna always have problems, and there's always gonna be things on your mind, and to have someone like me say you must prioritize your exercise is absolute garbage. Life gets in the way for all of us. Your workouts don't have to be killer all the time. Make hay whilst the sun shines. So when you've got the energy and the clear mind and everything is feeling good, that's when you go for the personal bests. That's when you push it. Every other time, if you're not feeling it, maybe you need a rest. More often than not, if you're not feeling it because there's lots on your mind, you'd be best advised to go in, get a sweat, get out of breath, do whatever you enjoy. Pump up your arms, you don't need to go and do a hard squatting session, but for some people that's the release. Learn to find your release. If you can find a release in exercise versus finding a release by cheating on your wife, or in alcohol, or in drugs, or playing computer games, or whatever it is, if you can find that release in exercise, you're really putting yourself on a good track for life. You really are. Better track for life than me making these videos whilst driving, and this woman who is just running across the road. So, point being, exercise. Do it no matter what, because it's going to make you feel better.